Hi, I'm Austin Sullivan. I'm going to be talking to you about how to winterize a motorcycle. I will be talking specifically about my motorcycle, which is a 1980 Honda CB400. Although I am talking specifically for this bike, almost every bike is very much the same, so you'll be able to apply it to your bike as well. The most important part about changing oil is selecting oil. Make sure you use 4-stroke motorcycle type oil. Since this is an air-cooled engine, it gets warm, and I like to use 10W40. This is a thicker oil, so it can handle higher temperatures that the air-cooled engine has. Underneath the engine, there's the oil filter cover and the oil filter drain bolt. Remove the drain bolt and let the oil fall into a drain pan. Once the oil is drained, remove and replace the filter. After changing the oil, shut off the fuel and start the bike. Make sure it is in neutral so that you do not have to hold the clutch or have the bike run away on you. I suggest leaving the bike choked while it is running. The reason we do this is so that fuel does not sit in the carburetor over the winter. If fuel sits in the carburetor, it will begin to turn into varnish, which will not be good. While I'm waiting for the gas to burn out of the carburetors, I am checking all the lights. I am checking the turn signals to make sure they are functioning properly, and that the headlights' high beams and low beams work as they need to. During my check, I found that my tail light was out, but the brake light does work. This is something that does need to be replaced. Next, I will go into visual inspection of other things that may be wrong. As you can see, there's leaking from the battery and an oil leak on the exhaust. These are things that I would like to clean up. Once the bike stops running, turn it over a few more times for good measure. Grab a standard screwdriver and remove the screws on the bottom of the carburetor bolt. If it's a 2-cylinder motorcycle like mine, it probably has 2 carburetors. There will be 2 drain screws that need to be undone. The next step is to fog the cylinders. Grab some fogging oil such as this, spray it into the air intake of the bike, and then grab your spark plug wrench. This should have a square bottom and a rubber insert on the middle to not crack the cylinder part. Remove your spark plug and then spray for about 3 seconds into each cylinder directly through the spark plug hole. This will coat and protect the motorcycle. Then remove both the wires to the spark plugs and turn over the engine again for good measure. Next, we are going to stabilize the fuel. I'm using Stable Fuel Stabilizer. This is a mixture that we put into the fuel. We mix fresh gas with the fuel stabilizer. For approximately every 2.5 gallons, we add 1 ounce of fuel stabilizer. Once we've finished putting in fuel stabilizer, we fill the gas tank up to the brim with fresh gas. Now we are going to take care of the battery. First, remove the plastic side cover. Be careful not to break off these plastic pegs, as I've already broken off one. They break easy. Now we can remove the battery. First, remove the rubber strap. Then pull the battery out a little, and you can remove the first cord. Once the first cord is removed, pull the battery out further, and you can get to the second cord. When you remove the screws from the battery, make sure to put them back in the battery so that you do not lose them. When you're storing the battery, attach it to a battery maintainer such as this one. Make sure you place the battery on wood, not on concrete. This will prevent it from draining charge. The final thing I do before storing a motorcycle is cleaning it. First, I start with a metal polish. This is to clean up any polished aluminum or chrome. After that's finished, I'll move on to some Armor All. This I'll use on the leather seat and the saddlebags if I have them on. Finally, I'll use a wash and wax combination. This will just keep the paint good. Now we are finished. We can put the bike away. Place it on a center stand so the weight does not rest on the tires and we do not get a bulb spot. This will also make sure it sits upright so it will be more difficult to tip. After all this is done, we will park cars in to fill the garage full. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something about storing motorcycles.